So, for the past 3 weeks, this theme of music has come up for me over and over again, and the messages have been so frequent and so profound. I realized, okay, I have to talk about this because that's just what I'm being nudged to do. So, the first time was about 3 weeks ago, and I did a post about this. I was in the airport in Houston and walking through the concourse, and I was literally stopped in my tracks by this string quartet that was playing pop music. It was beautiful, it was fun, and there was this huge crowd that had gathered to watch them. And as I looked at this crowd, I thought, wow, this is such a diverse group that I don't think under any other circumstances would these people be gathered in the same space and be so happy, so in awe. And isn't music so powerful that it can bring such a diverse group together like that, especially in times like this? And then about a week later, I had coffee with a friend, and she was telling me about um, a past job that she had as a music therapist in palliative care. And she would go into hospital rooms with people who were about to pass and sit with them and their families and just ask, like, what's your favorite music? What would you like to hear? And she would play her guitar and sing. And she said a lot of times people would literally pass while she was singing and playing the music. And again, I was like, gosh, like, music is so powerful that it can literally help usher us into the afterlife more peacefully. And then I have been having these recurring dreams. And when I have a recurring dream, and especially when my mom is in the dream, I know it is more than just a dream. It's a message, something that's important for me to hear. And in this particular dream, she and I have been riding along in the car and just listening to music. There's no conversation. It's just listening to music and this feeling of joy and peace. And again, it's just like gives me chills. It's so powerful. And then finally, if you were a fan of Stranger Things, you probably know what I'm going to talk about. And if you haven't seen season 4, don't worry, this isn't a spoiler. But if you have seen it, then you know how powerful music was, especially for Max. And I'm not going to say anything else and like give anything away, but if you know what I'm talking about and you think about that scene, there's so much truth to it. Like when we listen to the music we love, it can take us to a completely different place. And sometimes I think it has the power to help us escape from our demons and to save us. So as these things were happening over the course of the 3 weeks, I thought that this was a message for me because I have been working really hard at trying to expand and grow my spiritual gifts. And a big part of that for me has been trying to tap into more creativity and using more of my right brain. And music has really helped me with that. And I was like, yeah, this has been such a good message for me and it's really helping. But then yesterday, I was doing some reading for work and I came across this quote that just made me pause and think, okay, this is something for everybody. So the quote was, "We're here to learn to express the deepest yearnings and feelings within our souls. This is why we have to master the arts, music, because they are the transformational field through which we can transcend emotion." Now, I do a lot of work with my clients around developing a better relationship with their emotions and relearning how to hold space for what you're feeling and just allowing yourself to feel those feelings. And the first step in the sequence that I give everyone that I work with is whenever you feel something uncomfortable that comes up. Like, I think our natural tendency, or at least what we've been conditioned to do, is to repress it, to numb ourselves in some way so we don't have to feel those things. So instead, when you feel that urge to numb or to repress, instead I encourage them to set a timer and to sit with it for just 60 to 90 seconds because that's kind of the average lifespan of an emotion. And if you're not feeding into it with thought or reacting to it, then it should pass, or at least pass more easily. But in my own personal experience, especially after reading this quote and thinking about emotions a little bit more deeply and like that broader experience with them, I know from my own experience that there are some emotions that have been too big to just pass within 60 seconds, and some that were too overwhelming, too intense, too scary for me to just simply sit with on my own. And I think that is where music can be so valuable and so profound, because music has the ability to be there with us, to be our companion as we move through things that might be too hard to feel and to process otherwise. And I can think of at least 3 songs off the top of my head that no matter what kind of mood I'm in will bring me to tears every time. And I think we all have those songs that bring us to such intense, deep emotions. Why not use those as a tool, as a helper, as support when you're going through a hard time and you're having trouble feeling what you want to feel? Allow that music to help you move what you couldn't otherwise move on your own, or what you might struggle to move or to feel on your own. And you might do this with grief and sorrow, but you can also do it with stress. Think about turning on a song that just lets you move your body and express yourself in ways you otherwise might not be able to. It's a great way to move stress. Sometimes I struggle to express joy, and turning on music really lights me up, and it helps me to lift up my spirits and feel happy and express that joy. So I think the importance of this is remembering that music can be such a valuable tool. Feeling our emotions, expressing our emotions is so essential to our physical health, to our mental health, to our emotional health, to our relational health, to our spiritual health, that it's essential that we relearn how to feel those things. But if relearning seems intimidating and getting started is hard, let music help you. Use the music, enjoy the music. Let the music be there to support you as you go to some places that might be really hard, doing so on your own. So I hope this helps, and I hope you will go put on a good song and feel all the things.